What's up? How's everybody out there this late evening? So, learned a few things. I always learn shit. I love learning shit. In particular, just to recap a little bit, if you didn't catch whenever I was discussing lighting and all of that stuff, you go back and check out that live and the posts on locals. Forgive the description below. I didn't have a chance. I didn't go over to the website and rearrange all the spacing. So it's all like just crammed together. Anyways, it says what it's supposed to say. Lighting. So in vegetation, the plants like blue light. Okay, blue light is, and it represents, kind of reminds a plant, if you will, of springtime. If you think of the skies in springtime, very blue skies, as opposed to the skies in the fall time when the sun's sitting lower in the sky, you get a lot of red light. And I think that that's possibly, if you think about the sun setting lower in the sky and what a red sunset is from, the volcanic ash and things refracting off in the atmosphere. But then again, it's not like the color of the light. It is the color of the light, but it's the spectrum of the light. So I'm just curious as to, like, is it because the sun's setting lower and refracting off of those, or like the red sunsets, the ashes in the sky, or is it because it produces, you get more red light from more direct sunlight or something like that? I don't know. Like, for example, would that mean that the direct sunlight at the equator would get more red light than further towards the poles? Anyway, and see if I can knock a tooth out. Ow! That loosened it up a little bit. How the fuck did I just hit myself in the front tooth with the fucking lighter? Anyway, blue light, vegetative. Red light, and especially far red light, which is the fun part I want to get into, because the little bulb that my girlfriend got me, it's a big bulb actually, but it's a grow light bulb. A bulb, grow light bulb, nothing else to it, but it's 7-watt LED, so it's about 100-watt equivalent. It has a little switch on it. I'll show you as soon as I smoke here in a second, but it's got a switch on it. You switch it from seedling to vegetative to flowering. And she got it as a test trial thing from online. She tests and gets all kinds of free shit from marketing sites. But apparently that bulb is sold at Walmart for like $11, $10 or some shit, which I would have liked to have known before. I wish I would have known that before I spent $30 on 885 watts of LED equivalent lighting in there. It would have been nice to have like specifically the grow light, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to like jump all over and get like daylight and soft white and the hot and the cold end of the spectrum, and then add blue and add red, and trying to do it like that. And I could have just purchased a grow light bulb with a switch on it, so I don't even have to change the fucking colored light bulbs. I just push the switch. And it has far red as well, which I think the far red is kind of included in the bloom stage of everything. But I know that some people say that far red is not good to use for the entirety of bloom, to use it like as end of cycle or end of day treatment. So I am a little curious about that aspect of the light, because I know once you flip the bloom on, you've got red and far red on the spectrum. And one other fun little fact I figured out, my one lamp in there it's one of the ones that you can like dim or whatever. It's got 3 clicks on it. So you click it on, turns on, then up again. Well, I have another grow light bulb under there. It just doesn't have a switch on it, but it's got 3 settings on it, 3 stages. And it goes up to, I can't remember what it goes up to, really fucking bright. And I didn't even realize I was using the grow bulb in my dome, and it was burning it on the lowest setting. I could have popped it, and that's what I've done now, is I put it in the lamp with the settings on it. It has the 3 turns, and turned it up all the way, and then put the new grow light bulb in the dome in the very center of everything up above. So, and I think the Mag Landrace is going to come back around. It's perking back up in the center. So, I think my buddy's recommendation to cut a 2-liter off the bottom off of it, and I put a couple air holes in it just in case I wasn't sure, and then put that over top of it. I think it stabilizes the environmental conditions, humidity, temperature, probably not so much the light, but helps to stabilize the environment for like the very, very fragile seedling. I would imagine that's why it happened, why it worked. Seems to be working anyway. And oh yeah, the green light. Green light supposedly is good after I take this dab and get high. Cheers. I gotta go to the dispensary tomorrow. Damn valve dabs got pulled up onto the valve. Doesn't bother me when I'm taking my time smoking, but I'm trying to get high right now. See what I mean about the valve dab? How much smoke comes out of that valve? If I'd have put that much heat on the bottom, I wouldn't have got a hit. But you direct the heat right back there. And I always use the back of the banger because it's right below the intake valve. So any of your reclaim is getting pulled back. It's at least partially getting activated on the way back through. And then your pearl spins around and activates what's sitting around the valve. It doesn't like to spin, it just bumps. So the pearl spinning hits it. There really is technique to taking a dab with a turp slurper. With any banger, really. Banger. I always confuse the words rig and banger. I'm not sure why. Just they like get conflaborated in my head. Yes, conflaborated. Those are some good hits. I need my nicotine stick. That's what we're missing. Give me 2 seconds, please. That's more than 2 seconds, sir. Well, there it is. I found my stick for nicotine consumption. So we've got a, and I know nobody probably believes me. I don't know, maybe people do believe me. But I know it's probably very hard to believe that I've actually really got my hands on 1985 genetics, meaning the plant that these seeds came from has been growing locally, I'll just say that, to the Western Maryland area since 1985. By, I would assume, the same group of individuals. From the way it was told to me, that's the way it seemed. But that's fucking crazy, because feminization didn't start until 87, like shortly after 85 is when feminization started. So if it really is a 1985 Afghani, it hasn't even seen feminization yet. And I am perked up a little bit by the growth of it, because while all cannabis can come out differently, usually you get the same sort of growth pattern, 2 points, 2 points. This one come out with like a weird rounded wannabe point, and like another, and I thought maybe like it was just kind of crumpled up or something, like happens sometimes. But the other one's the same way. It's not really pointed. It's like a deformed pointed. I don't know how to explain it exactly. I'll show you when I get onto there. You can see it if you go back and look at them. The Empire Strikes Back, it's doing really fucking good, right? It's really healthy looking. If I didn't know any better, I would say it's an auto. But it's not growing quite fast enough to be an auto. But it does have some big old fucking leaves on it. And then the green light issue that I wanted to talk about, I put specifically for experimental purposes, and it turned out that I found out something. I put the Maglandrace and the Maglandrace and the G13 BSE cross. They were in the green light in the bathroom. And when the Maglandrace got wilted, I presumed it was from the little curlicue on the root thing that I had posted about on Facebook. The root seemed like to me that the root was trying to like push up instead of grow down, and it looked like it got like this little curlicue. Because I thought maybe because of that, I don't know. It's just a hypothesis. So I had covered that up, and it just kind of kept deteriorating. It wasn't getting any better, perking up. But then the G13 BSE, it was hanging. It didn't look like nice and like, hello. It was like hanging, kind of like it was too wet or something. But it wasn't. And then it started fucking up. So I think the green light, my hypothesis is that the seedlings need, like absolutely need, at least a photoperiod seedling absolutely needs that 6-hour period. Like it's not, even the green light, it's mimicking the shade of the trees at night, the moonlight and things supposedly. But it seems to just stress the fucking seedling out too much. It doesn't give it its rest, and because the green light, it is photosynthesizing more when it's just green light on its own in the dark. When you have green light with all the other light, it's not photosynthesizing as much because of the depth with which the depth at which green light is photosynthesized. The cells that photosynthesize green light are much deeper in the plant tissue, and those that photosynthesize the rest of the light spectrum are on the surface of the plant tissue. So those things combined, you get less green light absorption in the day. So what I'm going to do is during veg, as long as I can save these two, and I'm pretty sure I can get the G13s coming back around. I'm not sure about the Mag Landrace. I'll show you here at the end, but if I can get both of them to come back around, I'm going to put the green light back on them in the bathroom. That's where I put them for dark. My dresser only fits 2 plants. I'm going to put the green light back on veg whenever I flip the light inside to veg. So, not sure when that is yet. I don't know if I'm growing 4 different plants. And I haven't looked up the veg cycle, like the cycles on any of them actually. So, and I only have 1 grow spot. They're just going to have to get along and work together. Alrighty then. Well, somebody called me with a surprise offer today. Well, didn't call, but got a hold of me with a surprise offer. Something I have not had for many a years. Some penis envy. It was pretty funny because the person was like, know anybody like any mushies? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. What kind? And they're like, I don't know, dick something. And I was thinking, well, it's either Moby Dick or penis envy. I was like, I bet it's penis envy. And like many hours later, they was like, you're right, it's penis envy. And there was some other one, Nutcracker. That was the other one. I think the Nutcrackers, that one was like the big yellow topographical looking fucking caps. I think. I'm not a fucking psychonaut mycologist. I've only had one hardcore good trip in my entire life, but it was fucking intense. It was yeah. I fucking give credit to that trip for opening my mind up like a lot and calming me down a lot when I was a teenager. I tripped when I was like 15. And I had like a full-on fucking... there wasn't even stages to it. I just went fucking full-on to where I felt like I was connected to every fucking thing. There's no other way to explain it, is that I literally felt like I knew, full stop. That's it. Like I felt like I knew. And I also explained it as feeling like a pile of jello in the middle of the ocean, which is quite a complex analogy for as fucked up as I was at the time. Because I honestly was just thinking, I feel like jello in the ocean. But when you really think about it, it's like jello waving, moving, it just flows with whatever happens to it in the ocean, pulling and pushing and controlling. It's quite an analogy for a mushroom trip.
came forth from my subconscious, it did.
Some more Black Lime Reserve. Live sugar, because it's fucking delicious. Makes me feel great.